Hey, Andrew here. Welcome to my course on professional food photography. First, we're going to learn to set up your shoot stations and your styling stations. Let's have you come over here.
Before we start, please check out our new pre-launch e-learning course, Flash 2.0. More information on this course later.
Firstly, the camera. I'm using a Nikon Z50 mirrorless camera. And this is connected via HDMI to a screen that I'll always bring for food photography because I need to work with food stylists, and throughout this lesson you're going to learn about food styling, base styling, background styling, and plating. So this allows us to collaborate easily, which means that the camera would be mounted on a tripod. So that is the thing that I set up right after I got my screen. I make sure that I have a tripod. This way, it keeps my hands free. You need to use your hand to set up a few things. Number one, the base and the lighting. Let's go through the lighting now. I'll be using two lights for this shoot. The first one is an LED light by Godot, something like this. This is a 60-watt LED light. And I've got a softbox modifier with a Bowen mount. The Bowen mount is something that I truly like because it's kind of universal. Almost all modifier makers have an attachment or modifier for this mount. The first thing I do, I'm going to attach this modifier to this light. So I make sure that I've got the ring in, and then I turn. And that's it. So typically, most photographers would have their softbox vertical like this. In food photography, you have to remember one thing. You seldom see vertical or long, tall food because plates typically are wider than taller. And that is why I'll always suggest that you turn your rim light to have your softbox horizontal like this. And then make sure that it's swiveled down. And that's the first light that I set up. And after setting up the rim light, I come to directly adjacent and opposite the rim light to set up the main light. Same thing, another Godot's LED light. And here's the thing. Do you know that there's a knob in your Bowen ring mount? Let me show you. Do you see this little knob? That's where you are supposed to loosen this a little bit. So this will allow me to do horizontal or vertical according to the style that I want to get with the shoot. Usually for the main light, I make sure that it's vertical like this. And again, I want to make sure that the light goes down directly opposite the rim light. I'm going to get a soup from you so that I can start testing the light. You know that soup that you gave me just now? You get me one soup with the garlic bread. I just want to set up the light. Boleh? Okay. You must be thinking why I got Sam, the lead waitress, to get me a bowl of soup. That is so that we have a reference to start our shoot. We need to set up the lights and also the base styling and the table styling. And to do that, I always encourage photographer to get a shoot brief. If the fashion photographer and the fashion stylist can have their mood board and the shoot board, why can't we food photographers do the same? So if you look at this, I've worked with a lot of international brands, and more often than not, they give us a reference of what kind of photos that they would prefer to have. So I can see that they like that isometric angle. So I'm going to put this aside, and our famous favorite vinyl or linoleum tabletop base. You can get this online. Check out this episode as I explore in detail where you can buy them. They're very affordable online. So if you head on to Shopee or Lazada, you can buy different colors, different designs. And this looks like wood, but they are totally not. And what happened is that when we travel, we can really bring them, stuff it in the bag. So I'm going to line this up like this because the tabletop that I get today is marble, and that's highly reflective. If you're shooting this way without a tabletop base, you are just asking for trouble. Done. And I make sure all these bases are lined up more towards the back because I'll be shooting from here. I see the back more than the front. Right? So when Sam brings the tomato soup, it's going to go right here. We're going to set up the lights. We're going to set up the camera. And after that, it's just pure non-stop production. While waiting for the reference food to arrive, I want to show you the right way to set up your tripod. Usually when it comes to food shoot, this is the angle that we're going to be shooting. This is a name for that angle. Now what happened is that with the camera mounted on top, directly connected to the screen, I'm going to imagine that the food is here. Now you notice that I've got the base really low, the neck of the tripod really low. That's because that will allow me to easily raise the height. And I prefer a ball head compared to a three-way tripod head. That's because then I can do slanted shots like this. This will give me that dynamic angle when we do the plating. And with that, I'm just gonna take a glass of water while waiting, turn this on, and bring this in. And immediately you can see what my camera is seeing. I'm using ISO 200 and F number. I always suggest that you go at least 5.6 so that you get the depth of field, and then adjust the shutter speed accordingly. Good. This is why I always encourage photographers, especially those new to the industry, to get yourself a reference food like this. Get the cheapest food on the menu. That will allow you to set up the lights nicely before you go to the kitchen and tell them, I'm ready. So this has got to look nice. Oh, look at that. This is fantastic. So you notice that I get my fingers greasy. I always make sure that I have a bowl of water with wet towel at the side. Get your utensil to weigh down the shoot brief. So if you look at the way that I style the tabletop, it's kind of wrong. It's heavy on the right hand side. So I'm going to take this and put this over, balance this off. Because tabletop design is all about balancing the shoot. There you go. Right. And the only thing that annoys us all the time is that silly reflection that you have over the spoon. So that is why some photographers would get a huge screen and cover this. This will give an illusion that how it looks like. Example. Right? So we don't have that. So if this annoys you, you can actually post-process that away and then recompose this. Raise the height. Always shoot it a bit loose. Don't be too cropped in because designers need to put prices and also logos. Focus the front. That's our first shot. I think we are ready to go tell the kitchen we are ready to shoot. You've always been following our channel and you know the quality of our e-learning and tutorials. They are fantastic, especially when it comes to the topic of using light and flash in photography. And here's the good news. We have a new version, a complete revamp of the whole syllabus of this e-learning. So quickly sign up now and enjoy yourself a pre-launch promo price if you sign up now.